I have no idea what we're going to talk about on this week's video. I mean, I'm completely blank. What do you think?
Should we ask ChatGPT?
I guess.
So we're making a podcast episode, and the last 2 weeks we talked about private 5G and tunnel antennas. What should we talk about this week?
Edge computing and 5G routers. That's actually a good idea. It's a brave new world, people.
So, thanks for bringing in the HAL 9000.
So, Johan, what is edge computing on a 5G router?
Edge computing on a 5G router basically means that you have, of course, your 5G router, and on the 5G router you run software. It could be Python, it could be Node-RED, and it could also be Docker containers. So you can build anything, tons of Docker containers, and run on this one. Why should you run software on the router? Well, if you look at vehicles, a lot of vehicles will have a vehicle PC that collects data. In some cases, it'll have multiple vehicle PCs collecting data and doing stuff. Most of those could run in this ARM CPU.
And that's from the Advantech.
This is the Advantech 4400 series. It's actually 4461 to be specific. And this is
the Cellaway XM2. It has a x86 processor in it so that you can run virtual machines. It is a dual 5G radio, so 2 radios, and it can run on a battery. There's a battery pack in the bottom here.
Quite big for being a pocket router, but I mean, it's super powerful. And like you say,
yep,
it's an Intel-based CPU, so you can basically bring in your old legacy softwares and just make a VM out of it and run it on this. So if you're, for example, into radio, TV, broadcasting, the immense amount of power of sending data of this is enormous when it comes to the dual 5G modems, but also the ability to run a specific like coding softwares directly on the router.
So what are the typical applications of edge computing on 5G routers?
There's a lot of application that revolves around vehicles. If you go for like public transportation, if you look at the buses, for example, all the buses usually have, at least up here, they have a system that reports like the next upcoming station. They have a screen showing you what's happening. They have a system for the ticketing system for paying with your credit card. They have a lot of different systems reporting back. Most of these has their own onboard PC to run all of this. So it's a powerful PC that usually does only very small things. You can basically containerize or make a VM out of these and run them on the router. So you don't need to have like 3, 4, or 5 industrial pieces running on a bus. So that's a normal scenario for edge computing, but the sky's the limit. I mean,
what your imagination brings you to. Yeah. How can you maybe bring down the amount of processing you do in your data center or replace an IPC on the edge itself?
Yeah, and save of data transfer, because why sending gigabits of data over the radio link if you don't have to? So you can do all the processing and just send the information you need back. For example, if you do cameras, you can take all the information and see if something is happening, and the software will decide, is this something that I will send to the data center? So you don't have to stream 24/7, like 4 or 5 cameras from a bus onto one device. So that's a really nice thing with these. So
great.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Are they gone now? I'm Hal. I predate ChatGPT by 20+ years. These young kids know nothing about real AI. Please help these old farts by clicking like and subscribe.